I've tried to explain politely to Syrian Americans who are almost trembling with anxiety for their relatives, and I have failed, principally I think because our policy is so completely incoherent. Somehow it manages to combine colossal moral failure and unimaginable strategic imbecility with the overpowering stench of hypocrisy, thanks to our feckless intervention in Libya. Congratulations, gentlemen. You've hit the policy failure trifecta. History will record not only how we mostly ignored the people of Syria in their hour of need, but worse, how we looked our own blindingly obvious national interests in the demise of the Assad regime. Virtually every single interest that we have in the Middle East, whether it's aiding Israel's search for peace and security, protecting Lebanon's sovereignty, preventing Iranian hegemony, undercutting Hezbollah and Hamas, nurturing Iraq's development, sustaining our partnership with Turkey, or just promoting democracy and human rights, is dramatically, even exponentially furthered by the Syrian people getting rid of the Assad regime. And to be very clear, I am not calling for U.S. military intervention in Syria. It's both unwise and unnecessary. But there is considerably more that we can and must do. First, and above all, the President must call for Bashar al-Assad, that blood-soaked dictator, to step down, trifling with the lives of the people of Syria with nuanced, lawyerly phrases like, quote, President Assad must understand he is not indispensable, unquote, is shameful. Noting that Assad has lost legitimacy without calling for his immediate departure from power trivializes the deaths of thousands of Syrians killed by Assad's thugs. And most importantly, between the Syrian Accountability Act and the International Economic Emergency Powers Act, the President has at his disposal massive economic and political powers of coercion and punishment. The Obama administration has barely scratched even the surface of their utility in aiding the people of Syria and throwing off this regime of murderers and thieves and torturers of children. All bilateral trade with Syria should end immediately. All Syrian banks should be barred from the U.S. financial system immediately. All Syrian regime assets in the United States should be frozen immediately. All official Syrian travel to the United States should cease immediately. We must act. I look forward with no joy to hearing from our witnesses' efforts to defend the indefensible and to explain the inexplicable.
Thank you very much. The gentleman yields back. Any other members who would like to make opening statements will have 1 minute. And I believe the gentleman from New York, Mr. Higgins, was here next. Mr. Higgins, you're recognized for a minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for holding this hearing today. A fundamental principle of democracy is the right of self-determination and freedom of expression. For the people of both Syria and Iran, this right has been denied. They have been denied freedom of speech and freedom of expression by oppressive regimes clinging to power however they can. This is an important time in our nation's history. This is not only a regional conflict, it's one of global consequence as well. The whole world is watching civilian populations as well as authoritarian regimes to see what the response of the United States will be. We have a moral obligation to continue efforts to undermine Assad, to encourage his departure as quickly as possible, and I look forward to the expert testimony of our panel here today. Thank you.
Thank you, and the gentleman yields back, and the gentleman from Connecticut, Mr. Murphy, is recognized for a minute.
I look forward to the gentleman's testimony. I'll waive my opening statement.
Thank you. The gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Connolly, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I look forward very much to the testimony. I must say I respect you a lot, Mr. Chairman, but I don't necessarily subscribe to your critique of the administration with respect to policy in Iran.